What is going on, everybody? It's the Frost. We're back again for our Monday Night Raw review for August 6th, 6th or 9th, yep, August 9th, 2018, 19, oh boy. Another year for 2019, and I hope I'm a lot better off where I am now in 2018, but that's neither here nor there. Monday Night Raw, of course, tonight was the debut of, in-ring debut on Monday Night Raw for Ronda Rousey, as she would take on Alicia Fox. That was the main event of tonight, which I have no problem with. It is Ronda Rousey. You're going to give a person like Ronda Rousey the main event. We also had the Roman Reigns hour, which is, of course, starting to become the first hour of Monday Night Raw, where Roman is in a talking segment, and then they have a match for Roman Reigns. WWE again, making it all about Roman. Tonight was just, it was a I don't really care show tonight, as usual. I mean, we did get Paul Heyman sitting down with, the best part of the show, in my opinion, was Paul Heyman's interview with Renee Young, and the emotion. This guy, Paul Heyman, is a gift on the microphone. This guy can sell you he could sell you a roll of toilet paper when you don't need it. He could sell you a used napkin. This is how good this guy is. He just played his part well tonight, and it came off great. Now, of course, they're playing up the fact that that Brock Lesnar doesn't care about anybody. He's severing ties with Paul Heyman. They're trying to make him as angry as Brock Lesnar is hated as can be, and it's not going to work in New York. This is something I noticed tonight, and I don't think I've seen them do this in a long while. We were in Tampa, Florida. Well, not Tampa. Well, no, we were in I think it was Tampa or one of those, or Miami, Florida, last week. So Monday Night Raw did not leave the state. We were in Jacksonville 2 nights. Why were we in Jacksonville? Oh, because Roman Reigns is from Pensacola, Florida, and WWE needs to try and get as many cheers as they can. So when we get to New York City and Brooklyn, New York, they can be like, oh, well, Roman was being cheered in Tampa and Miami, in Pensacola, and Jacksonville. We must cheer for him because the fans love him. You could just tell when he was out there in the opening segment, you could hear the children, and that was it. You couldn't hear the boos. The boos were muffled. You could barely hear the boos being distorted. I don't know how they do that stuff. I wish I was good at audio editing, live audio editing, because that would be great for what I do here. But you could just hear the cheers. And there was one you saw, this woman just like, oh my God, it's Roman Reigns! Chill, woman, chill. And then there was a guy who's like, my wife loves Roman. From another guy, and it's like, you can just hear the editing they have to do to this guy. It's sad that Roman Reigns cannot get over on his own. Kevin Dunn has to pitch in, Kurt Angle, Baron Corbin has to pitch in, Paul Heyman has to pitch in. Everybody who's involved with a storyline with Roman Reigns has to pitch in to get this guy over, because he can't get over on his own. Yes, I know it takes 2 to tango when it comes to a match. Good heel will go up against a babyface, and the babyface should get cheered some more. But this is overkill. It just, the cheers for Roman Reigns tonight, the entire opening segment after Roman came out, the crowd did not feel natural. You could hear boos and other things for Roman, like Roman sucks and stuff, but you can barely hear them. They were being drowned out by whatever they were doing in the back. They manipulate these microphones for the crowd so it makes it sound like Roman is over. And he is, and we were, like I said, they were in Jacksonville tonight, and that was going to help out a lot too, because he's in his home state still. They're going to be in North Carolina next week, so I guarantee you it's probably not going to be the same. WWE can try and manipulate this as much as they want, but Roman Reigns will fail, as he always has. Moving on here, we'll get to the results and everything. We did have a match between Baron Corbin and Roman Reigns. So the rumors of last week that the reason that Baron Corbin beat Finn Balor one-on-one clean, and then the altercation Roman Reigns and Baron Corbin had the night, later in the night, was pretty much to set up a match for tonight, which is exactly what happened. It kicked off the show for matches tonight, and it was a match. We'll get to that later. After the match, and the match ended with a distraction because Baron Corbin was trying to leave. Finn Balor's music hits, he walks out, and Baron Corbin gets hit with a Superman punch. thrown back into the ring, hit with the spear, 1, 2, 3, and that was that. Roman Reigns could only win this match because of the help of, won this match by pinfall because of Finn Balor. Let that one sink in for you. I'll give you a second. Moving on. After, of course, Roman Reigns will leave, and Finn Balor would get into the ring after they do a little fist bump, and he hits the the hesitation drop kick, and then the coup de grace off the top rope for just whatever. So I'm pretty sure next week or sometime during this week, Kurt Angle is going to make Baron Corbin versus Finn Balor at SummerSlam. That match is going to happen. In the back, Kurt Angle was with Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is getting tired of being double teamed by Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre, and he says, "Is there anything we can do about this, Kurt Angle?" Kurt Angle tells him, "Yeah, you find a partner, and we will take this. We will have a tag match later in the night. I'll give you 3 guesses on who wants to be his tag team partner tonight, and who ends up being his tag team partner, because it was no shock to me, and we'll get to that later." Then we had Bobby Roode versus Mojo Rawley. Who gives a shit? Mojo Rawley ends up losing. So all this momentum you have for Mojo Rawley beating the likes of No Way Jose, who hasn't been seen in forever. Don't care. He was garbage anyway. And Tyler Breeze, and him coming out last week and talking shit to the catering team of Kurt Hawkins, Zack Ryder, The Ascension, Mike Kanellis, and I think there was one other guy. Yeah, you had him come in and talk shit to all those guys, and he gets beat the next week. Yeah, so everything, it just makes it seem that everything that Mojo Rawley said last week was just shit, which it was. Elias out tonight, which was a good segment. We'll talk about it as well. We'll go through all this stuff as well. And of course, they're still building, and they have a week left. I'm surprised this wasn't added to SummerSlam yet, but we are going to get Bobby Lashley versus Elias at SummerSlam. I am really shocked that it was not done tonight, with everything that happened. Razor took on Titus O'Neil, which I don't get this. You have single stars thrown in the tag teams to tag team matches, but then you have tag teams, legit name tag teams, Titus Worldwide, even though they're a dead tag team, versus the Authors of Pain. But last week you had Akam and Apollo Crews, and this week you had Titus O'Neil and Razor in singles action. Why? And you wonder why nobody thinks that Vince McMahon likes tag teams, because you do shit like this. It makes no goddamn sense why you do this. Why, oh why, do I want to care about the tag team division? And a team like the Authors of Pain should be a team that's going through Titus O'Neil. Done. Out of here. They beat him already 2 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago. Give us somebody else. Have them go up against the B team when the B team lose the tag team titles. Have them run through them. Have them run through the Leader of Worlds. Have them run through the Revival. Or have, build up the Revival and the Authors of Pain separately, and then have them in a collision course for, I don't know, SummerSlam. If you would have did this show, you could have had the Authors of Pain versus the Revival in a highly anticipated tag team match at SummerSlam, but we're not getting that. Kevin Owens show is back tonight too, which, do you think I really care about that? No. Miz TV, I guess I can tolerate here and there because Miz is good at what he does on the mic. But if it's not Piper's Pit, which I know, rest in peace, Roddy Piper, I really don't care about wrestling's talk shows from random wrestlers. You have, I guess, a highlight reel is fine too, because again, Jericho's good on the mic. Don't really care about the Kevin Owens show. Didn't care about Sammy and Kevin show. Don't care about the Cutting Edge. Don't really care about the Peep Show or any other one of these things that they come out with. Let it go. I know you're trying to recapture. They keep trying to recapture the magic of what was Piper's Pit. Miz does a good job with his Miz show, the Miz TV, and of course Jericho does well with his as well. But nothing will ever recapture that. It was not a good segment. He had Jinder Mahal on, pretty much kissing Jinder Mahal's ass because he's like, "Oh, you're Shanti is helping me get over what happened against," and it's like, I don't care. I honestly don't care. We got another I don't know how bad are they making Braun Strowman look? Can someone answer me this while we get through this? Like, I'm just going through this short thing and then we'll get through everything. They had Jinder Mahal versus Braun Strowman again. Does WWE think we're a bunch of one-year-olds who don't know the rules of the Kevin Owens and Braun Strowman match? Because last week Kevin Owens lost by countout. Tonight you have a lose by DQ, and just like last week, you have the commentators say, or have Michael Cole say, well, guys, if that happens on SummerSlam, then Kevin Owens is going to be your Mr. Money in the Bank. Do you really think your audience is this stupid? Why are you doing this? It makes absolutely no sense why you had Braun Strowman lose to Jinder Mahal twice. By countout and by disqualification. We're not that fucking stupid, Vince. Come on. And then this was the biggest offense I think they've done all night. They after that they do a little segment with Roman Reigns kicking him, like saying he's not allowed to go and work and all that, and be Seth Rollins' partner because Stephanie McMahon doesn't want the world title match at SummerSlam to be compromised. Whatever. Then Michael Cole has the gall to call Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar and one of the biggest and most epic rivalry of the last decade. Obviously you haven't been watching NXT. Have you seen what Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa have done since the beginning of the year? Epic rivalry is Gargano Ciampa, Undertaker Shawn Michaels, Triple H and Shawn Michaels from 2002 to 2004, Edge and John Cena, the early rivalry of Randy Orton and John Cena back before they kept doing it over and over and over again. I mean the original rivalry between those two. Let me think here. Triple H and The Rock, Austin and The Rock. Hogan Savage when they went up against each other after the Mega Powers exploded. That entire little thing. That was an epic rivalry. Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns is anything but a big or epic rivalry. Give me a fucking break. This thing has been nauseating. It has been, pathetic. And it's the same match over and over and over again. Punch, Superman punch, Superman punch, Superman punch, Superman punch, Superman punch. Spear, F5, F5, suplex. That is it. That is all we have had. We had a cage in the last match these guys went to. That's about it. But it still was the same match. Maybe one other move, but that was it. It's going to be the same thing at SummerSlam. You're going to get suplex after suplex after suplex after suplex. You're going to get Superman punch after Superman punch after Superman punch after Superman punch. You're going to get 6 or 7 F5s. You're going to get 5 or 6 spears. And then I don't think Roman's actually winning at SummerSlam because, again, as I think I've stated before, why is Brock Lesnar going to be on the night after? How many times does Brock Lesnar actually show up the night after a pay-per-view? Never. Almost never. I could be wrong. He might have been once or twice. I do not think he was not there the night after the Royal Rumble. I know he wasn't there the Monday after the Greatest Royal Rumble. I believe he was not there the night after WrestleMania. I could be wrong. WrestleMania 35. I'm pretty sure he wasn't there the night after, not 35. That's next year. My bad. WrestleMania 31. I don't think he was there. WrestleMania 32. I don't think he was there. Oh yeah. SummerSlam 2000 and what was it? 16? No, 14. 2014 SummerSlam. He wasn't there the night after. Why would why would Brock Lesnar be on the schedule for the night after SummerSlam if he wasn't going to win at SummerSlam, only for Braun Strowman to capture the title the next night? So that's where I think this is going. But yeah, they showed a sit-down interview with Corey Graves and Roman Reigns, and it was like, they had highlights of everything that's happened since WrestleMania 35, and no. It has not been an epic rivalry. This thing has been, get the damn thing over with. Again, epic rivalries, Austin Rock, Cena Edge, early Cena and Randy Orton, Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, Undertaker and Triple H as well. Brock Lesnar and Undertaker is more epic than this rivalry, especially in the 2002s. Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar was an epic rivalry. Hogan Savage. Let me think here. Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart was an epic rivalry for many different reasons than others. Those all rivalries I just talked about are better than what you have with Brock Lesnar and Roman fucking Reigns. So you cannot. You saying, having Michael Cole say that this has been the biggest and most epic rivalry in the last 10 years is laughable and pathetic. Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa has been the most epic rivalry we have had for the last 2 or 3 decades, in my opinion. At least the last 10 years, it's been Tommaso Ciampa and Roman and Johnny Gargano. Period. B-Team had new music. Just want to tell you that right now. We did have Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre take on what was supposed to be Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. Seth Rollins, of course, was in the back. Tyler Breeze came in. He tried to be his partner. Roman says, "No, I got your back tonight," knowing the fact that he wrestled earlier in the night. And then Roman was told by Kurt Angle, "No, you can't go out there because if you do, you're going to be losing your championship opportunity. Please defy Stephanie one time so we can get a different title match, please." And then, of course, yeah, like I said, the B Team, they have new music. They don't have these battle scars or whatever that fucking music was. It's just B Team, B Team. It's like, oh, it's like they took the Spirit Squad music from back in the day and just remixed it and just have B Team being screamed. It's so annoying. They faced off against the Revival tonight. It ended in a no contest because of the Leader of Worlds did a little magic trick, and it sets up what I thought was going to be at SummerSlam, but actually is going to be next week. The Revival versus the B Team versus the Leader of the Worlds. The winners will be your Raw Tag Team Champions, which means even WWE knows that that Raw's Tag Team division is absolutely garbage and is not SummerSlam worthy. Period. Then, like I said, the best part of the night, Paul Heyman sits down with Renee Young. This thing was a great interview. They do have it on YouTube. I will play it when we get to it in the results. It is definitely something to watch. I've never seen Paul Heyman this distraught, emotional, and ready to have so many questions but no answers. This is definitely something to listen to. The Boston Hug Connection versus, again, the Riot Squad. And before this match started, you had the Riot Squad of Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan in the ring. And I found it funny that you had Michael Cole, Vince McMahon fed the line to Michael Cole. The Riot Squad has been so dominant over the last few months, but they ran into a hiccup last week. I'm sorry. Before the Boston Hug Connection faced them again, or Bayley and Sasha Banks faced them last week, they were going up against Ember Moon, who hasn't been seen since she beat Liv Morgan again, mind you. How are they dominating if you have Liv Morgan lose 3 times in 4 weeks to Ember Moon, and the only win they got was Sarah Logan? Yeah, that's real dominating. Maybe on the house show circuit, but that don't count on TV. On TV, they haven't done shit. This match ended kind of weird because you had Bayley going after Liv Morgan, and a completely hooded figure comes out of nowhere and moves Liv Morgan out of the way, and it turned out to be Ruby Riott, who makes her presence known again after being off for a few weeks due to an injury. So it's great to see her back. Too bad she's not going to be on SummerSlam, even though this entire thing between Boston Hug Connection and the Riot Squad could lead to a pre-show match at SummerSlam. Who knows? And then we had the entire end of the show, which was Ronda Rousey versus Alicia Fox. You had Alicia Fox out here with Alexa Bliss. Charlie Caruso was out there trying to ask Alicia Fox about Ronda Rousey. Alexa Bliss isn't happy. She's like, you had all night to ask a question, think of a question, you think about Ronda Rousey. And then you have Alicia Fox sit there for 5 minutes monologuing about Ronda Rousey's accomplishments. So you have Alexa Bliss not happy that Charlie Caruso brings up Ronda Rousey, but then you have Alicia Fox, that's all she talks about is Ronda Rousey. And then Alexa Bliss kisses up to Alicia Fox saying, if it wasn't for you and like the way the road that you paved for women like me, this WWE evolution, we almost made it the entire night. It feels like. I feel like the entire night almost went without one mention of WWE evolution until we got to the main event of the show. So close, but not close enough. This match went, of course, a lot longer than I thought it should have. It should have been judo flip, armbar, tap out, but no. Yes, the monologue started like 10:57 or something like that, where they started talking about Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey's music didn't hit till 11:04. So I was like, okay, this is going to be a judo flip armbar thing, but no. They had to, make Ronda Rousey work for her victory. Have Alicia Fox get some like offense in. I don't know, man. WWE really like this show was just bleh. Not something I would say is one of the best shows ever. It's not even close. But the show started off with Constable Corbin and Kurt Angle coming out when Roman Reigns, who else would come out to confront Baron Corbin about Brock Lesnar and the fact that last week Brock Lesnar made Kurt Angle his bitch and Baron Corbin did absolutely nothing.
Tonight will be an historic night because making her Raw in-ring debut tonight is the baddest woman on the planet, Ronda Rousey. And unlike some other former UFC champions, Ronda has no problem competing on Raw. I don't have to beg her, or she doesn't whine or complain.
So why she started working for you on this roster since WrestleMania? Why have you waited until tonight to book her in a match for whatever reason? I mean, yeah, I don't want to see Ronda Rousey wrestling every single week, but we've had her, other than that suspension after, Money in the Bank? Other than that, why has it been so long for Ronda Rousey to have a match on Monday Night Raw? Let's see, April, May, June, July, August. It's been 5 months since she's been on this roster, and yet you haven't had her in a match until tonight. Just a little nitpick there.
But I can tell you what, whether she wins or loses tonight, or beats Alexa Bliss at SummerSlam, Ronda, just like every other superstar on Raw that shows up each week, is a champion in my book. I wish I could say the same about Brock Lesnar. Watch it, Kurt. Oh, hold on. I need to get this off my chest. Brock Lesnar has no class. You saw what he's done to the WWE Universe, to the Universal Championship, to me. You should have known better.
Hold on. Brock Lesnar has done that just because Vince McMahon has allowed Brock Lesnar to do that. Brock Lesnar does what he does because Vince McMahon said, you know what, I want Brock Lesnar as often as I can use him. If it's not too much, fine. Oh, let's throw a championship on him. The reason, and I'll say this, the reason that this wasn't as big of a deal for Brock Lesnar when he held the WWE Championship back in 2014 to 2015 is because the WWE Championship is the most prestigious championship in all of sports entertainment and wrestling. It is one of the longest active wrestling championships out there, outside of, I believe, a CMLL championship. I could be wrong, in Mexico, but it's one of the oldest active championships outside of the NWA title, but the NWA title sucks and is dead. But it is the most prestigious title in all of wrestling, and Brock Lesnar, I would take a Brock Lesnar reign for the WWE Championship over what we got with Jinder Mahal last year. I'm just saying. The Universal Championship, on the other hand, has no lineage, has no prestige, has nothing behind it. Putting it on Brock Lesnar did not do anything for this title. So whoever holds the championship, whether it's Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman, Kevin Owens, or anybody else after Brock Lesnar, you have a huge uphill battle to make that title mean anything. Just saying. Then Roman Reigns comes out and confronts Baron Corbin.
If you kick the big dog out, who's going to protect the yard?
Speaking of that, isn't Braun Strowman Mr. Monster in the Bank? Brock Lesnar came out and attacked Kurt Angle. Where was Braun Strowman? I don't remember. I don't think anyone. I didn't ask this, but I don't think anyone did. Where was Braun Strowman? Why did Braun Strowman not show his face and attack Brock Lesnar trying to cash in Money in the Bank? Braun Strowman could have came out, power slammed the guy, and was like, "I'm cashing in my Money in the Bank," but he didn't. Why? Oh, because we have to have Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns for the third time and the fourth time in a year. Yeah. No.
Exactly. Nobody. And that's why Brock Lesnar ragdolled you all around this ring last week. What are you smiling at? What are you laughing at? When he was getting beat down, what did you do? You just stood there, didn't you? And then what happened? As soon as Brock looked at you, what'd you do? You ran. You ran like a scared little old...
Listen, Roman. Nobody likes what Brock Lesnar did last week. And that starts from the top down with the WWE.
Please tell me you're not going to say what I think you're about to say.
This right here just pisses me off the way he has him deliver this.
Please tell me y'all aren't going to suspend Brock Lesnar indefinitely.
I made sure that Brock Lesnar did not get suspended. And I made sure that you will compete against Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship at SummerSlam.
Did they post-edit this reaction? Because it sounds like the cheers are way louder than they were on TV. I'm just saying, you can just tell that WWE loves to edit to make it sound like Roman Reigns is the most over guy in the company, when in reality, outside of Florida, he is not. If you looked at a map of fans' love for a wrestler, Roman Reigns would be all of Florida and maybe India, and everywhere else would be fuck Roman Reigns. You can hear the boos.
I just hope you kick his ass.
Wow, that's a soundbite. That's also really unprofessional for the general manager. You can't pick sides, you can't play favorites. And if Brock Lesnar was here, he'd what? He'd do what? He'd look at you one more time so you can run off like a coward again? I chose to be the bigger man. That's something you know nothing about. Plus, I'd already competed that night. I was worn out from beating little tiny Finn Balor. You know, the guy that actually won the Universal Championship, unlike you.
Ooh, that's a shot.
And I mean, I'm pretty much already doing everything around you. I can't possibly think of anything else I could do.
Well, you could have acted like a man last week.
Act like a man? Are you an example of what a man acts like? You shuffle out here week after week and greet these people and welcome them like it's your show? Stephanie McMahon is the commissioner of Raw. You just make matches. And Stephanie put me in place as constable to watch over your every move because you can't be trusted.
You're right.
Because he has no balls. Stephanie, he gets hired in and he says, Vince McMahon's like last year, he's like, you're general manager, Kurt Angle. Hey, yeah, I'm just going to get my balls surgically removed and hand them off to Stephanie McMahon before I go out there, because that's how he's been treated since he's been general manager. I'm just saying.
I just make the matches. And you know what? I see a match right here. As a matter of fact,
I want a referee to come out here right now because Cosmo Corman is going to take on Roman Reigns, and the match starts right now! Oh, I love it! This is not fair to Corbin.
He ends up getting a cheap shot in on Roman Reigns before the match starts. As the bell rings, there's no referee in the match for about a minute or two. Roman Reigns with a Superman punch for a 2 count. Corbin in control after we get from break. Then he does his slide out and then back into the match clothesline for a 2. Graves says, and this pissed me off when he said this. Corey Graves said, and I quote, Roman Reigns has earned every title shot he has got against Brock Lesnar. What was the greatest Royal Rumble? What the fuck did Roman Reigns do to earn that title shot, may I ask? Yeah, he won the Rumble in 2015. What was SummerSlam last year? How did he earn that shot? He just came out and Roman and Kurt Angle was like, we're gonna have a fatal 4-way between Braun Strowman, Samoa Joe, Roman Reigns, and Brock Lesnar. Saying he has earned every single shot he has got against Brock Lesnar is laughable. What was the greatest Royal Rumble? I'm just talking about this year. Yeah, he won the Elimination Chamber, and yeah, he beat Bobby Lashley last year, but you're going to sit there and say he earned the shot at the greatest Royal Rumble? Are you kidding me? No, Brock Lesnar just handed it to him because Brock Lesnar said, fuck it, I'm just going to give him a shot. Fucking pathetic by them right there, just feeding this line and making it seem like, oh, he's earned everything. We don't hand him everything. What was WrestleMania 35? What was WrestleMania 30? Oh, I'm 35. I keep saying WrestleMania 35. That's next year. 31, 32, 33, 34. Did he earn the main event of WrestleMania 34? No, 33? No. He just got handed the main event of that one. What has Roman Reigns done most of the time this year? He's lost more than he's won. Why did he lose at Extreme Rules? Why did you even have that match? So 2 weeks later, you're going to have him beat Bobby Lashley. The fucking fact that they try and shove this shit down your throat that Roman Reigns is the most worthy guy out there is pathetic. Going with the shot to Roman and shoves his face into the ring post as they go to break, that looked like that hurt. Roman goes for the spear, gets caught, and gets out and ends up eating a deep 6 for a 2 count. Corbin looks to lead this match, but Finn Balor makes his way out here to get Corbin back in the ring. Superman punch on the outside, Roman with the spear on the inside for the 1, 2, 3. And as I said earlier, post Roman leaves the ring, gives a fist bump to Finn Balor, says it's all yours. He goes in, hits the hesitated drop kick, and then a coup de grace for the hell of it. So yes, I'm surprised this wasn't made for SummerSlam. I'm surprised Baron Corbin didn't say something in the back. I'm pretty sure next week we're going to get Baron Corbin and Finn Balor named for SummerSlam. In the back rounds with Angle, he's not happy about, like I said earlier, and he wants his tag team match later in the night, and he's supposed to get a tag team partner. Barry versus Mojo Rawley. Do you care? Because I sure as hell don't. Mojo Rawley loses by way of glorious DDT for a 3 count. And we have Elias, who is in the back getting prepped for, I guess, his new documentary, because he said last week's documentary, which I have not checked out yet. I have a couple things to watch on the network. But Elias says that last week that they got the documentary wrong, and he has new people here to help him get it right.
Last week, my documentary came out. It was streaming on the WWE Network, and if you're not keeping up, the WWE Network stands for the Walk with Elias Network. And I gotta tell you, they tried their absolute best, but they got it wrong. And that's why I've got these guys here with me tonight. We're gonna do the documentary right. We're gonna do it the real way. We're gonna do it Elias's way. Actually, guys, before we get started, how about you come over this way and just get a close-up on the fingers, okay? That's where the magic goes down. Everyone's going to want to see that. Good, good, good. Right there, right there, right there. That feels good. Okay, I just had this idea. You guys should circle around me.
As you're doing, it's like you're orbiting around the sun, and I'm the center of the universe. You know, I'm the center of the WWE universe. You know, keep it going. That's right. Okay. You're moving a little slow. You remind me of Bobby Lashley. You know, he couldn't even remember the lyrics to Rockin' Robin. But I'm gonna get this going. Stay right there. Okay. You know what? I know what it is. It's the audience. I mean, maybe you guys can use your CGI or something. Maybe just crop out their faces with a more attractive crowd. That would be fantastic, okay? Anything that helps me forget the fact that I'm in Jacksonville.
I mean, yeah, what is there in Jacksonville? Other than maybe the Jaguars? Who cares about the Jaguars?
Elias, I heard you complaining about how bad your documentary is, but you know what? I saw your documentary. And, you know, I thought it was an actual depiction of who you really are. I thought it was actually brilliant work.
Well, listen, yeah, the documentary, it was good. It had its moments, but I gotta say it, at times it portrayed me as, you know, egotistical and out of touch. And
as opposed to what?
You're funny, real funny, huh? Hey, he's not that funny. Keep the cameras on me, okay? You shut up on the story part. Now listen, I know why you're out here, okay? You want to come out here and try to steal the spotlight from Elias, and it ain't happening. Because the truth is, your entire comeback has been a joke.
You know what? I think your boots are a joke. I think your guitar is a joke. I think your bracelets are a joke. I think your scarf is a joke. I think your documentary's a joke. I think your album's a joke. And I think everything about you is a friggin' joke. And the next time my name comes out of your mouth, what I do to you, it won't be a joke.
Okay, all right, listen. Bobby's in a bad mood or something, all right? Let's move this along. Maybe we'll go somewhere else. We'll film the documentary, and we'll go in the back somewhere where we're not going to be interrupted by a guy like this. Come on, get out of here. You know, I'm done with you. You guys, you know, you stick with me. We don't worry about any of that here. Let me see that. Hold on here.
Grabs a clipboard that this goon's got. Tosses it to Bobby Lashley, and then attacks him.
Oh, that was a cheap shot. And now he's going right after Bobby Lashley for interrupting him again here tonight.
That's a joke, Bobby.
Oh, and look at Elias.
When will last, man?
Interrupted by Lashley. Lashley with a spine buster makes him pay.
Well, he said it's not going to be a joke.
No more smile for Lashley. Wait a minute, that's Elias's crew.
Apparently, Bobby's going to borrow them.
Gets him in the vertical suplex, the stalling vertical suplex.
A vertical suplex of Elias. Come on, this isn't the Lashley story. We've already seen that. Oh! This is embarrassing for Elias.
That's a documentary I want to watch. That's going to be on the cutting room floor if Elias has anything to say about it.
And that was that. So, of course, we're going to have Bobby Lashley. I'm still surprised, because usually when you have an attack like that, we're a week or so away from a pay-per-view, it's like, breaking news, this match is going to happen at SummerSlam. We didn't get that tonight. So, I don't know when that match is going to be announced. It's got to be between now and next week, but I'm still fully believe that we're going to get Elias versus Bobby Lashley at SummerSlam. And, yeah, whatever. In the back, we had Seth Rollins getting prepared for his match tonight. When Tyler Breeze comes in, he wants to be the tag team partner. He says, we should call our tag team the CrossFit Breezes. Yeah, no, thank you. Wants to do the whole Shield thing. Roman Reigns comes in and says, nah, I got you, man. That would be later in the night. Razor versus Titus Worldwide's Titus O'Neil. Razor wins with a nasty-looking spine buster, and I have to ask, why did Akam lose last week? These guys should not be losing. These guys should be running through tag teams. These guys should be your tag team champions coming out of SummerSlam. That's not happening unless they want to name something next week, which I don't know. The Kevin Owens show, I didn't give a shit about this one. I actually had to change the channel. I couldn't watch this. Kevin Owens and his special guest, Mr. Shanti. I can't do it. Jinder Mahal. He's just sitting there kissing Jinder Mahal's ass. Pretty much, it all leads to, because what they had is they had, on one side of the stage, you have the announce table with Cole and all them. And on the other side of that entire thing, they had another little stand thing, and they had the Kevin Owens show set over there. He calls out Braun Strowman 3 times, and next thing you know, Braun Strowman is flipping over the Kevin Owens stage, and it's going to be Braun Strowman versus Jinder Mahal again. Short and sweet of this is that Kevin Owens grabs the briefcase twice, runs away. Braun Strowman runs after him. Jinder Mahal goes after him. Braun Strowman's trying to wrestle the briefcase away and ends up colliding the briefcase with the ribs of Jinder Mahal. So for 2 straight weeks, you have Jinder Mahal beating Braun Strowman. Why? Why are you having Braun Strowman lose 2 weeks in a row to Jinder fucking Mahal? Seriously. They built Braun Strowman up for so long. They missed out on like 2-3 opportunities. This guy should have been your Universal Champion with how big he was last year. Braun Strowman last year versus Braun Strowman this year at this time are 2 totally different people. 2 totally different people. The Braun Strowman last year would kick this Braun Strowman's ass and take no names and would ask questions later. Beat your ass and would ask questions later. This Braun Strowman is a shell of what he was last year. Corbin is with Stephanie on the phone after that, and hands it to Kurt Angle, and of course Stephanie McMahon, who has Kurt Angle's balls in a jar on her desk. Probably not really, but you know what I mean. Pretty much tells him to take care of some business, which he will later. Well, right away. They did the whole Braun Strowman, the whole highlight package. I just went over that rant a little bit. How it is not, and I repeat, is not a epic rivalry. We're not going to go into it again. I don't care what he has to say, but then we have Roman Reigns. It was supposed to be Roman and Seth versus Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler. Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler in the ring. Looks like we're going to get Seth Rollins and them coming down to the ring when Kurt Angle and Baron Corbin both stop them and was like, well, Stephanie doesn't want to jeopardize the Universal Championship picture by you getting injured when you already competed tonight, so you are forbidden from going out there with Seth Rollins. Your match is next, Seth, so you're screwed. And of course, and Roman Reigns is like, I don't care what she says, I'm going out there anyway. But if not, if you do, you're going to lose your title opportunity. So he ends up like hitting Baron Corbin in the ribs as Baron Corbin was holding his ribs from the coup de grace from earlier. Seth Rollins pretty much gets beat down in this match. Seth Rollins did have a good high spot in this match, and he did look like for a minute he was going to beat these two. But it ends up being a 2-on-1 beatdown, and the winners were Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler. Again, the B team, I honestly don't care about the B team. They faced a revival. This match didn't last very long when the leader of the worlds just appeared, Curtis Axel, and I'm pretty sure they said Dash Wilder was on the apron. They did the whole, Bray Wyatt mystical camera effect. Lights go out, they come back on. Bray's where Wilder was, and Matt's where Axel was, holding out their arms like they want to tag. Bo Dallas and Scott Dawson are in the ring like, what the hell's going on here? They come in, Sister Abigail to Dawson, I believe, or Bo Dallas, and Twist of Fate to Dawson, laying both guys out. And again, next week we're going to get a triple threat match, tag team championship match, because again, the tag team title division on Raw is deader than hell, and they do not deserve to be on SummerSlam. Then we get the best moment of the night, in my opinion, the emotion of Paul Heyman, who breaks his silence about Brock Lesnar. This was by far the best promo of the night and the best segment of the night.
appreciate you being able to sit down with me tonight. Now, last week, when Monday Night Raw ended, it appeared that you and your client,
he has his
Lesnar and yourself.
He has his head down when she says your client. He looks up, just like emotionally wrecked right now.
Have severed your business ties. Where do you and Brock Lesnar stand right now?
I don't know. Brock Lesnar has disconnected his phone number, and I've tried to reach him through intermediaries, and I don't know where we stand.
You've not spoken to Brock Lesnar at all since last week?
No.
Okay. Well, Paul...
And not that I haven't wanted to. But obviously, he doesn't want to take my phone call.
Paul, I understand.
You don't have a problem with this, guys, to be honest. Brock's not going to like this. I mean, I'm out here talking in public about this. This is kind of like a private matter. It's just going to piss him off more.
Well, we can go from your point of view if you like. I mean, it seemed abundantly clear last week that Brock Lesnar does not consider you his friend, that you're his employee. Do you consider Brock Lesnar...
You're really enjoying this, aren't you? I have this coming. Like,
no.
I deserve this.
Paul, I'm just trying to get to the bottom of what exactly happened between you and Brock.
So am I.
So do you consider Brock Lesnar a friend of yours?
Yes, I do. And my children consider his children to be their friends. I don't want anybody close to my family. He certainly doesn't want anybody close to his family. This is not how I envisioned it ending. We have always, since the beginning, we've always talked about riding off into the sunset together. The Universal Championship over one shoulder, the UFC title over the other, and me standing behind him, proclaiming to the world the reigning defending.
Paul, at this point in Brock Lesnar's career, do you think that he still needs Paul Heyman? Paul, do you want to take a minute?
Paul's like literally almost crying. It seems like what he was.
Just do it. Do your job.
You spent a lot of time here. Hypothetically, if Brock Lesnar was not around, is there anybody else here that maybe you have your eye on as a potential client?
This question right here does, like, this one right here was the only one of these that stuck out that I'm like, really? I'll let you hear him answer, but I'll have my thoughts in a second.
Well, wouldn't that question be inconceivable a week ago? Wouldn't it be? Wouldn't it be? Sure. This whole situation is inconceivable to me. How can I just go with somebody else? Just interchangeable?
Okay, well,
Curtis Axel, Ryback. That is all. I mean, he picked up what was then known as Michael McGillicuddy while Brock Lesnar was off being Brock Lesnar somewhere else in the woods, and they wanted to keep Paul Heyman on TV. What was this, 2012-13? And he went and had Michael McGillicuddy, renamed him Curtis Axel. Then, of course, you got Ryback who joined the group, and then, of course, that's what those two got away from him, and they became Ryback. But yeah, this would not be the first time he had a new client in WWE.
SummerSlam. This is my final question to you. Brock Lesnar or Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship, who's going to walk away the winner?
I've known Brock Lesnar for 16 years. I've been through every up and down that he has accomplished and that he has suffered, and I've never seen Brock Lesnar like this. I've never seen him more driven. I've never seen him more focused. And I know this isn't a word we like to use around here. I've never seen him more violent. Against this Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns doesn't stand a chance.
got to be one of the best guys in the business who knows how to cut promos and actually sell you on it. That was very believable by Paul Heyman, man. That was definitely one of the best promos. That was the best segment of tonight. Apparently, Finn Balor learns about his SummerSlam match on a backstage pass type thing. So, yeah, we'll talk about this in a second.
Saw you grinning ear to ear out there. How good does it
Stop
feel
smiling.
going after
Stop smiling.
Corbin did to you last week? And not only did you cost him a match tonight, but you hit him with the coup de grace. And, well, I guess I can tell you this now. Kurt Angle made it official that at SummerSlam it is you versus Constable Baron Corbin.
Stop smiling, Finn. That just doesn't look real.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful news. You know, Corbin's been running around saying, you know, Finn's teeny, Finn's tiny, small, but, you know, Corbin just got a small taste today of what's to come.
Ha 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 ha. Stall jokes.
Half as big, twice as good. You come at Finn, you better not miss. Brooklyn, SummerSlam, Corbin, gonna pay.
Does anybody care about Baron Corbin versus Finn Balor at SummerSlam? Because I know I sure as hell don't. I sure as hell don't. Riot Squad versus the Boss and Hug Connection. Please tell me they're going to turn on each other. Please tell me they're going to turn on each other, because this, I don't like this name at all. The Boss and Hug Connection. Ugh. Anyway, you had, as I said earlier, the finish came when you had Ruby Riott make her return in a black hooded sweatshirt with herself covered up. No one knew what she was. Distracting Sasha Banks in the ring, who gets rolled up by Sarah Logan for the 1, 2, 3. Can we not get another match between these two, please? These two teams, please. If you're going to do a women's tag team division, you can't have the same two teams fight every single week for like 2-3 months straight. It just doesn't work. Rousey versus Alicia Fox to end this entire thing. We had Ronda Rousey went with the armbar after a good bit of time. It went about 5-6 minutes. It went a little bit longer than I thought it should. I figured the bell should have rang. Judo flip armbar. She judo flipped Alicia Fox 3 consecutive times. We've heard of the 3 amigos. We've heard of the 3 German suplexes from like when Chris Benoit did them. This was the 3 judo flips, and my word, did she look like, I'm surprised Alicia Fox still has any feeling in her arm. She got whipped around that ring 3 consecutive times. It did not look pretty. But after the match was over with, Ronda Rousey's getting questioned about SummerSlam and how and congratulations on her first match, when for some stupid reason, Alexa Bliss did not play dumb babyface, she played dumb heel right here, because she comes from behind to try and do something to Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey judo flips her and she runs out of the ring. Ronda Rousey grabs the microphone and says, I don't care how hard you hold that title, but when at SummerSlam, it becomes mine, and just throws the mic down. So, nice little promo for her to end the show. Then they kind of ruined it when they had zooming on her after she goes, like her serious face was there, and it was back to being all smiling, like, thank you guys for coming, I love you guys. Like, you should have cut it off with that mic drop. Should have cut it off with that mic drop. But that was Monday Night Raw. In a nutshell, Monday Night Raw was, it had its moments. Paul Heyman was, of course, the star of the show, in my opinion. Braun Strowman's looking worse and worse every time we see him out there. They're making him look more like a fucking blithering buffoon than a monster among men. And Roman Reigns had the first hour pretty much to himself. And then, of course, you had the sit-down interview with Corey Graves, which I really don't care to play if they have it on here, which they don't. Oh, they do, but I don't even care to. It's on the WWE thing. No, thank you. But, yeah. Monday Night Raw was Monday Night Raw. We're 1 week away from SummerSlam, and still no excitement outside of AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe. And possibly Daniel Bryan versus The Miz. And they're both on SmackDown, so, yeah, Raw, you fucked up. Make sure, my name is The France. Find me on Twitter at The France. Hit that follow button over there. Find me on twitch.tv/TheFrance08. Hit that follow button over there. And make sure to hit that subscribe button. Comment down below. Let me know what you thought of Monday Night Raw and every single thing on this review. Make sure to hit that dislike or not like or dislike button. Doesn't matter which one you hit. It helps out anyway. Thank you guys for watching the last episode of Unscripted and SmackDown Live review last week and Monday Night Raw review last week. There was no NXT review because of internet issues last week. I will have a double NXT review, so that means I got to watch NXT from last week and NXT from this week in succession, and I will have a double review on Wednesday. And until then, my name is The France. I'll see you back here tomorrow for SmackDown Live. You guys have a good one, and I will see you guys later.